Hi Scorpio, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. So I'll pull you one card and then we'll look at the rest of the reading. So you get the message in a bottle card. This is obviously some news coming your way, sometimes it's practical in your hands news, other times it's intuition, instinct, that sort of thing. Give me a minute. So I'll cut the cards and we'll try and get a sense of where this message is coming from. Please excuse me, my throat goes. I keep losing my voice, which is absolutely awful for a tarot card reader. But let me have a look. So I want to cut one more time where this message in a bottle is coming from. So you've got the Death card behind you, which is your card, remember, so some sort of change process. The gift is the Eight of Cups. The challenge is the Strength card. The Lovers is how other people are showing up for you. Maybe this is where the message is coming from. But the Eight of Cups is a very, very strong, intuitive card. Oh, you're walking towards the sun. So you're walking away from this dark night into illumination and clarity. A lot of people are getting these, both Leo cards. Doesn't have to be about Leo, because we all have a fifth house and we all have Leo somewhere in our birth chart. Give me a minute. So you're going to the Knight of Wands. Lots of fire energy here. And what's the Knight of Wands about? Anything after the Knight of Wands? Six of Cups. Reconciliation, reconnection. Some of yous have obviously been, when you're in the Death card, you're in the letting go process of Scorpio. It works with the Judgment card, which is rebirth. So some of yous have been in some sort of change process. For some people, the Death card can talk about being a little bit in the dark night. So when we're in a dark night, we've outgrown the past, but not quite fully in the present. Yeah, can be quite a tough period. But I think that might be coming to an end, because the gift of the Eight of Cups is a very interesting gift. Again, he's walking into the moon, which means he's sort of going into the unknown. It's the card of Jupiter, which is the card of expansion and searching. It's an ending card, but not an ending with a capital E. It's a small e. And what I mean by that, so quite often it can be like a child leaving home, but then coming back again. So it doesn't always talk about a total ending, especially when the sun's underneath it, because this is walking towards illumination and light and clarity. It looks like that's maybe coming through a relationship, because other people are showing up for you as the Lovers card. So wanting to form a connection, wanting to be in relationship. So some of you might have had a classic example of someone who's not been there for you, but this is the return, because the Eight of Cups is a bit like that. One of my least favourite cards to actually have to explain to someone. Because there's always a return with the Eight of Cups. And it looks like this is the sort of return here. The challenge is a Strength card. The Strength card is about lust. It's about taming the lion. We all have a lion. Sometimes it's about taming fears. Sometimes it's about having to hold yourself back from saying what you want to say. What's the Strength card about as the challenge, please? Sometimes it can be about other people holding their energy back, but I can't see that happening. Tell me what the Strength card is about as a challenge. Two of Pentacles. juggling options. Sometimes this is about juggling finances, having to be very strong, keep your focus. So what's the gift about, please? Oh, I love it, the Eight of Cups for the Sun card. Something that I thought that you think was gone is going to be returning. Tell me why the Eight of Cups is the gift. One card. Yeah, Knight of Cups. This is a classic example of something that you thought was over coming back. The Lover's card is other people's energy. So tell me about the Lover's card. One card, I'm going to cut it in three and take the top card. Nine of Pentacles. That's for the Strength card just showing up. Oh, this is a very interesting storyline appearing here. It's obviously, you've obviously been in the Death card, there's no doubt about it. So maybe some of you have been feeling a little bit in that sort of loss energy. But the Eight of Cups is the gift. Looks to me like you haven't, there's been a lot of personal reflection on the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is very often a journeying card, so seeking the answers within. And then this Knight of Cups appears and the Lovers appears in your relationships, but you're still in the Nine of Pentacles, which is the Hermit card. So this is a little bit of a confusing game here. And I wonder if that's why you're juggling these options. And the Strength card is a bit like taming the lion. So not jumping in, considering your options, reflecting on your options, because this is a version of the Hermit card. And especially if some Scorpios have been involved with someone who's been a little bit not there for them, and then suddenly they're going to reappear this week. Take a step back, move into the Hermit, don't jump into anything. And that's what the Strength card is about. What is your heart telling you? Because the Strength card for the Nine of Pentacles would be about taking a step back to reflect and probably reconsider this relationship dynamic. The Sun is going to be illuminating everything. That's what the Sun does. What's the Sun doing for Scorpio, please? One card is with the Wheel. So this is probably the message coming in. The Wheel of Fortune's a clock. It's timing. And it turns when it's going to turn. I think the biggest struggles that we all face in life is waiting for the wheel to turn. It's turning. This is probably the message in a bottle. I think some of you have got this message turning in some different ways. There's definitely a theme of relationships here. But the challenge is still when the Strength card and the Minor Arcana version of the Hermit card shows up, and because of what's behind you, I want Scorpio to take a step back and actually look and reflect on this relationship before you jump into it. Basically. What's the Wheel and the Sun about? Yeah, it's about work. You got the Ace of Pentacles. I thought it might be, actually. I don't know why, because I felt two very strong themes for you. There's definitely a message from a relationship here, but there's definitely news about work and money coming through. You might even be starting a new job, and maybe you've been in the Death card because you've been in sometimes the Death card feels like an endless process of waiting that can put us into quite a, you know, it's quite a difficult phase when you're waiting for the new to begin. That's how I tend to read the Death card. Now the outcome is the Six of Cups. So if this relationship energy. You're going towards reconciliation. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Okay. With the Knight of Wands is very much an energy based on following your instincts. But because the Strength card is a challenge, if this was a private reading, I would be telling the person, reflect and take a step back. Totally. It doesn't even matter if you only do it for 2 days. You take a step back. You manage your lust energy. So when we're managing our lust energy, we're very, very much in control. Not letting ourselves be controlled by someone else's energy. So we become the masters of our own fate, essentially. But you're definitely going towards reconnecting with the person. For others of you, there's definitely news around a job, earning. This pentacle is getting put in your hands. And obviously you've been in a process of waiting quite a long time with that Death card. Can be a really tricky cycle. We don't understand a cycle till when we come out the other side. And we look back and we go, yeah, we sort of understand why we had to go through something. The Knight of Wands is very much an energy about following. When the Knight of Wands appears, we don't always know why we're saying yes to something. It's a different sort of energy and it's beyond the mind. This Knight of Wands is taking you towards some sort of reconciliation with someone, some sort of reconnection, giving it a go, saying Six of Cups is a definite yes card. My advice is to take a step back. I love the Hermit when it shows up in relationships because it shows a very, very deep quality to a person. A lot of consideration, a lot of reflection. And it might be, it takes tremendous energy for you to take a step back, but that's what your advice is. And there's definitely a new job coming your way. Just about for everyone, I've had to pull other cards for. So I'm going to ask for a crowning card for you. One crowning card. I'm going to split them in 3. Okay, you get the Seven of Swords. I think the Seven of Swords is about some sort of relationship. For some of you, something ended, and this is it coming back to life again. Because the Seven of Swords is very much, shall I go back? Shall I go forward? Not my favourite card, but there's a trick to the Seven of Swords. And the trick to the Seven of Swords is actually the Knight of Wands. If your heart and your instinct tells you and wants to go forward in a certain direction, then you must follow it, Scorpio. That's what we have to do. Because the Seven of Swords can be stuck in a mental process. Looking over your shoulders. So you get stuck. But if you tune into the Knight of Wands, your instincts and your heart will tell you if something is right for you or not. And by the looks of it, you're going to make a decision that something is the right path to follow. And some of you are definitely getting a new job. The Wheel with the Ace and the Sun. And when I seen that message in a bottle, I felt both relationships and finances. Great reading, Scorpio. Great one to give. The readings have been hugely challenging this week. This was a very, very good one. Lots of love. Bye.